Hello guys, and welcome to a new Still Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you Chickendew versus Nicholas Fricke in the lower bracket round 1 of the 3rd Asia Pacific tournament. Today we're going to be seeing Odon River as the map, and on the allied side Chickendew is bringing out the 15th Infantry Scots, and on the Axis side Nicholas is bringing out the 9th Panzer. So I think I can see reasons for why either division was chosen for this map. The AVRE can work very, very well in this sort of terrain where there's a lot of tree lines that block line of sight at range, but sort of allow you to engage at the 500-600 meter range mark, which is again perfect for an AVRE because they have 600 meter range. And you really want to be able to continuously fire that Spigot mortar wherever you can. So bringing in an AVRE early on this map could pay off. Also, the other thing about the 15th Infantry Scots is they do have a lot of infantry availability. So they can use that to push across the rivers in places where the bridges are not, which is nice. And also, they have strong AT guns, so they're able to cover the bridges that are there. Because in general, across this entire map, there's only 3 places really that you can make significant pushes. You can push across the top side, you can push across the bottom mid, and then the very bottom side. Because that's where the bridges are. And it does make this map kind of, I guess, predictable, but if you play around the center as well with infantry, you can definitely catch your opponent off guard. On the side of Nicholas Fricke, he's chosen the 9th Panzer. And the reason you could choose the 9th Panzer quite safely in this map is again because of the closer range engagements. The 20mm autocannons from the Panzer IIs work really well. They can penetrate armor at close range quite effectively, and therefore these ranges are ideal for not only destroying, infantry, but also, light armored targets. So against the 15th Infantry Scots, the 9th Panzer can have a great time with Panzer II Lux. Yeah, they're not going to kill an AVRE, although I have seen a Panzer II Lux kill an AVRE before, but they will kill things like the honeys quite easily at close range, as well as rip to shreds rifles, because there aren't many Piats or like AT infantry availability for the 15th Infantry Scots. So on this top side, it's going to be rifles from Chickendew. We got some command in there and a Piat. Chickendew's going to be sending some rifles to the mid. There's a lot of rifles heading to this bottom side. There's also a Honey Stuart here. And there's also a 6-pounder. I like that 6-pounder placement. Covers those bridges very well, actually. So if there was a push across these bridges, he could definitely counter it. And that's exactly what I was talking about. If there was a command with that, that would be even better, because that'd be like a 2-star AT gun that could really just smash a lot of the forces that came across those bridges. But it looks like Nicholas Fricke going to be going across this bridge with the Panzer II Lux combo. 2 Lux. He's got a Befehl Panzer II-C and a Panzer I-C. Now it's really going to be up to Nicholas Fricke here to find the kill onto this honey quickly. And internal fragments will do, as that now allows his Panzer IIs to get very aggressive indeed. I like this solid play here from Nicholas Fricke. Going very aggressive early on. Definitely going to help him make a lot of ground against these rifles. So you can see them being ripped to shreds. Surrenders would be better, because he wants to savour this 20 more ammunition so that he can kill the honey at close range. This half track going to be pushing across these bridges, but the 6-pounder going to be opening up. That's going to be revealing itself to Nicholas Fricke, who's going to mark it. Looks like he's going to try and push up towards that with the Panzer II Lux. He is going to be out of line of sight, of course, because of these trees. But there is now a honey on the way to try and deal with the Panzer II Lux before it can take out the 6-pounder. So first shot not hitting the mark. Second shot, will it do the job? Track will damage, not bad. Stern Pioneers find and kill off the last of the rifles down here. That looks though really isn't doing too much. Honey's going to find the kill. AT gun gets hit and pinned down here by the mortar fire. Gets taken down to 2 health even by the 251. This Honey has a lot of work to do. Stern Pioneers don't manage to smoke themselves in time. Get killed off by the 2-star rifles here. The Lux, however, going to make short work of those. These rifles also suffering against this half-track. And with those being pinned and surrendered, things are going to actually start falling away from Chickendew early on. But it's crazy how this terrain here has actually managed to cut off Nicholas Fricke's forces. That's quite insane. I've never seen a salient quite like it. So forces on the top side have managed to push across, and with Chickendew being on this side of the river, it's actually a very strong position for Chickendew because there is... the 50-50 is like here, so he's gained quite a lot of ground, whilst Nicholas Fricke's been pushing on this bottom side, which is why the +1 is still in favour of Chickendew, even with this huge salient. This Honey should be able to deal with the Panzer I and the half-track here quite nicely, and there is an AVRE on the way that can deal with Panzer IIs on its own. So there's that. MMG carrier and the command carrier, they're going to be engaging this half-track, but this rifle leader can't really afford to go down. Otherwise this Panzer II Lux up here can run all over these forces. It can kill the MMG carrier, it can kill the command carrier, it can kill both these rifles. And there's no 6-pounder or Honey Stewart up here to sort of stop any push from coming through. Chickendew's got to be very wary of that. ME109 GT BR21. Going to be trying to pin down the Honey. Not quite being successful though. And that Honey can now find the kill onto that half-track. Either that or the AVRE will. That Honey really taking its sweet time. No veterancy. Looks like the machine gun's got the kill in the end. So yeah, now this Lux has come up. That's going to smash the MMG carrier. Engine stall. We'll eventually find the kill, I'm sure. And now it's just a matter of finding and cleaning up the rifles here. Why is this ME109 still flying about? Pretty risky to still have that in the air. Looks like it's trying to strafe the Honey, but being unsuccessful. So after quite an explosive start on the bottom side, Nicholas Fricke really not making too much more ground. Looks like he's definitely focusing on cleaning up these rifles, which I think is honestly a really good choice. Get rid of this attack on the top side. He can go back to focusing on the bottom side and find himself a +1 again, and remove Chickendew's +1 for that matter. These Stern Pioneers going to be revealing those rifles. Flamethrower should do the job. With both of those pinned down, should be a couple of surrenders. Now it's just a matter of pushing up the infantry, having the Lux cover them, and breaking through the next tree line. Honey Stewart is now on the way. Looks like here, these Panzergrens have been surrounded by these 2 units of rifles. Piet is going to be opening up onto the Panzer II Lux. Can it find a kill? No, it cannot. Piet goes down. Panzer II Lux free to charge onwards. Now just needs to take out the MMG carrier. It looks like it will. Close range, surely. Yep, easy kill. Now it's up to the Honey to stop that push from going too far. Looks like he's going to be able to pin down the Panzer II Lux in time. Pretty easily. Yep. Panzer II Lux now going to be forced to fall back. Now, Nicholas Fricke's going to need his own form of AT. He could probably get these Panzergrenadiers into this building. They can hold that quite easily with the Panzerschreck. But some more infantry or AT up on that top side would be ideal. Now it looks like those Panzergrenadiers did end up getting surrendered in the centre of the map, which is forming a nice salient for Chickendew still. Ooh, Panzer II does manage to pick off a honey by shooting it in the side armour. Very nice. AVRE going to be engaging that Panzer II. Got to be careful at that range. These looks can be rather scary. If it gets a side armour shot, that will be a dead AVRE. Gotta love it though, when this AVRE fires its main gun and blows up half tracks like that. That's one of the most satisfying things about the AVRE. So some infantry arriving to support this honey. I like this a lot. He needs to reveal any potential AT infantry before he goes aggressive with the honey, and that's exactly what Chickendew is doing here. Maintaining that +1 so far. 2 MU-109 GT BR-21s coming in now. One's going to be hitting the AVRE. Actually, they're both going to be hitting the AVRE. Looks like that's going to be a potential surrender there. Yep. Nicely done by Nicholas Fricke. That's exactly how you want to do it. Pin it down if you can't kill it. And then you just make it surrender. Very nice indeed. Now the Spitfire Mark 9 has been brought in. Not convinced about the 1 versus 2, if I'm honest. That seems like a bad idea, unless Chickendew has another Spitfire Mark 9 up his sleeve. That could end very badly. We'll let that continue as we focus on this top side. Rifles are being pinned by the Panzergrenadiers here. Quite convincingly, actually. Got to be careful of the double surrender. That could go very badly. Panzer IIs are making some ground down here now. At close range, this honey's got to be very careful of the 20 mils. Oh, look at that Panzer II, it's just charging it down. Finds transmission damage, shooter wounded. Honey is dead. This honey doesn't have any ammunition. That's dead as well. Unless the 6-pounder can save the day. This could get very bad for Chickendew. This honey is zooming back to help out. Wow. Bailed out now as well. No ammo. Bailed out. Track wheel destroyed. How many more criticals does that honey want to take? So I like that move from Nicholas Fricke, but not sure why he backed off so quickly. Because I think, in my opinion, he could easily take out that honey at close range. Spitfire does take down the BF-109 there. Looks like Panzergrenadiers are able to kill off these rifles on the bottom side, or at least pin them down for now. Time for those Panzergrenadiers to get aggressive and maybe find a surrender down there. So up here, it looks like the honey's just trying to take out some of these half tracks. There is still a unit of rifles up there. Vickers HMG is getting into position to hold the mid. 50-50 currently on the map. So an interesting front line for sure. With these Panzer II looks and this Panzer II really causing the main issues currently for Chickendew. These looks at close range work very well in this scenario. And you can see that demonstrated in this game so far. Now that honey is going to be engaging the Panzer II. This Panzer II looks going to come round and engage. Now ideally this Panzer II look wants to just continue moving and then find that kill. I guess the internal fragments, but there is a Bedford supply right there. But the great thing about Panzer II looks is they can fire on the move. You don't have to do an attack move. You can just right-click move them. And that way, you can take them out. Now, I'm very surprised, again. I'm not sure if Nicholas Fricke just can't see what he's up against. But to me, his movement has been very odd with this Panzer II. Like, why would you not chase an internal fragment honey around the corner? Like, even for your own greed, you know? And that's now going to allow this honey to get reloaded. This honey is being fixed up. The Churchill 6 has arrived. It's not great. Rifles did manage to take out a unit of infantry here to surrender. And have now cut off Nicholas Fricke's forces. These Panzergrens are getting up close and personal with these rifles. That could be a mistake, honestly. Because these rifles at close range will beat Panzergrens. Like, if both of them have no veterancy. Because that's 5 HE versus 8 at close range. Internal fragments onto the Panzer II looks here. That gets pinned. These rifles just going to straight up surrender that. Never mind. Focke-Wulf 190 going to be coming in with the ME-109 G2 BR-21. 6-pounder finds the kill. Spitfire comes in once again. 2 Spitfires now. Focke-Wulf 190 G3 going to go down. And it looks like this ME-109 G2 BR-21 will as well. Nice airplay here from Chickendew. Also, these rifles going to be able to take care of these Panzergrens with the help of the strafing run there. Nicely done. So, Panzer II looks here. That needs to find and kill these rifles. I guess the Pioneers can do it, so Nicholas Fricke can just leave that to it. This Panzer II looks, though, just going to be going aggressive on the bottom side. These 2 honeys going aggressive further up. There is a Panzer IV waiting, but whether or not that actually gets used remains to be seen. Pioneers easily clean up those rifles. Back to 50-50 once again. But even with the aggression from Nicholas Fricke early on, 522 points in favour of Chickendew. Panzer II looks joining the Panzer II here. Going to be coming up against 3 units of rifles shortly, which isn't really much of a contest. As Panzer IIs will just rip them to shreds. Oh, you would not want to be those guys. Imagine 20 mil rounds ripping through your body. That would be very painful. And very deadly. Panzer IV has come out of hiding. Going to be cleaning up one of the honeys. Takes out the MMG carrier. Rifles have been moved ahead, which is nice to see. But in the face of a Panzergren squad and a Panzer IV-H, not going to work out very well. And what is interesting is that on this top side, there's no more Panzergrens here. At least not for now. I think there's some on the way. Although there might be Pioneers. But there's nothing here really to stop like a push coming through from Chickendew, and it looks like he might try and go for it. Since his push across these bridges didn't work, pushing elsewhere would be the best idea right now. Got to solidify your position here, and then push on the top side instead. Now +1 is in favour of Nicholas, since these Panzer IIs did find their way down here, but with the Panzer II going down, I don't think it's going to be long before the second Panzer II dies to this Churchill as well. Unless Nicholas kind of micros it properly, maybe finds a kill at close range. I'll have to wait and see. So those rifles eventually killed off. This honey in an interesting position. It looks like Nicholas Fricke's going to go for the attack here. He does have decent aim time on the Panzer IV-H. Can he find the kill? Marder 3 is now being brought in. Interesting choice. I guess it'd be good to sit it on the road and aim down the road. But you can see the 6-pounder is in range here. That's going to be forcing back the AA in one shot. Oh, 17-pounder. That's a little bit more potent. Yes, indeed. Surprised it hasn't killed either of those, though, with its 2-star veterancy and 6 accuracy. Looks like Nicholas Fricke got away with that one. Assault Pioneers going to be trying to kill off these Pioneers. These Pioneers have used up their grenades, so that's an easy win for Chickendew. Might not even need to use the grenade. See if it's thrown. It was thrown. Panzer II looks to have something to say about that, though. And it looks like the Churchill did manage to take care of the last Panzer II down here. So now a +1 in favour of Chickendew once again. And he's going to win the game at this rate in 21 minutes and 30 seconds. But I do like the way that Nicholas Fricke is using these Panzer IIs at close range to try and make ground. But I can't help but feel like he could have done the micro a little bit better throughout. I'm not entirely sure. Panzer IV does manage to clean up the command carrier. Now it's looking to take out the Honey as well. Those rifles surely just going to be outright surrendered. This Churchill 6, really, really nice response. That 17-pounder took out one of the Panzer IIs. Churchill 6 is taking care of the Panzer I. We'll also be able to deal with these infantry nicely. And the good thing about a Churchill 6 is it has 2 basic machine guns, as well as 5 HE on its main gun. Again, 17-pounder killing off another one. Panzer IV-H does kill off the Honey. But some bombs coming in there from the Spitfire Mark 9 is going to make that fall back for now. This Churchill just got to keep rolling towards these Pioneers. Focke-Wulf 190 going to be chasing that Spitfire all the way to the spawn. Not a good idea, especially when he knows, or he should know, there's 2 Spitfires in the hand of Nicholas, or in Chickendew, sorry. And it looks like they're going to win out quite easily indeed. Now can they find the kill? Since this Focke-Wulf is pretty fast, might outrun the Spitfire Mark 9 still. Not this time. Not even the AA is going to save that Focke-Wulf. Half-Track is mortaring the 17-pounder here. That was definitely getting ahead of itself. I'm not entirely sure why Chickendew was being that aggressive with it, especially when it's not supported by any vehicles or tanks or anything. On the top, Panzer IV-H is here, but Chickendew definitely looking for an attack now. Oh, that's not good. That Honey straight into the bombs of the Focke-Wulf 190. The main gun of the Panzer IV firing away. 6-pounder is opening up. Oh, it found the kill. Oh, what a beautiful kill that was from the 6-pounder. I pointed out this position before and how strong it can be. Chickendew using it there to his advantage. Really, really nice. So now we have Pioneers versus Assault Pioneers. Churchill 6 though definitely swinging things in favour of Chickendew. Now this guy's going to surrender. And now it's looking very weak on the bottom side for Nicholas Fricke. He does have the Marder 3 and the Panzer IV-H on the main road, but the 17-pounder has been killed here, so maybe it's his chance to push through on these bridges. And one thing that is nice to see is that these bridges don't seem to create choke points that are strong enough to stop either player from moving across them, which is keeping this game relatively interesting. As you can, if you think to like other games, like, I don't know, think like Command and Conquer Generals or something like that. If there was ever a choke point, the likelihood you would get through that choke point would be extremely slim. And often would just turn into a complete grind. But in this case, I like how, you know, in Steel Division, you have the variance of units enough that you can make pushes across with infantry, like across sort of like the rivers, whilst your main line units sort of wait to push across the bridges. It's just really, really cool, dynamic to Steel Division. Really hard to sort of just lock a place down on a map. And that's actually a good thing as opposed to a bad thing, because it keeps things dynamic and interesting. Either way, another 17-pounder going to be coming up here to attack this Panzer IV-H and the Marder III. AVRE is waiting to show its hand. Churchill going to be coming into the face of a Panzer IV. Can the Panzer IV do the job? Got on target first, finds the crew wound. Rifle's going to be surrendered instantly. Not entirely sure why rifles would be running towards a Panzer IV, but there we go. Panzer IV is going to find the kill. Pretty likely that that would happen. 17-pounder takes a shot from the Panzer IV, but does return the fire. Gets the Spaulding shooter wounded. These rifles going to be surrendering those Panzergrans. So Chickendew maintaining his +1 at the moment. What can Nicholas Fricke really do about it at this point? Because he surely ran out of Panzer II looks. The amount of Panzer II looks we saw come in was actually kind of ridiculous. But I like now the use of these Panzer IV-H's instead, because they are very strong at close range. They have the 3 machine guns. They've got 4 HE on their main gun. And they aim pretty damn fast. So if Nicholas Fricke can exploit the Panzer IVs in combination with his infantry, he might be able to make quite a lot of ground here. Just have to be careful of the AT guns that Chickendew might present. So command coming in on the top side to accompany these pioneers and the Panzer IV. Panzer 1C also coming in. This Panzer IV going to be trying to get across that bridge now by the looks of things. Accompanied by the Panzergrenadier with the 2-star veterancy does make it pretty damn strong. Also now going to be assisted by the AA, which will help it kill infantry all that much quicker. Now one infantry squad does get killed there before it unloads, which isn't ideal for Nicholas. Infantry coming down to this bottom side might get intercepted by the rifles. Not quite. Those rifles don't have the line of sight. Ooh, crew wounded. Side shot there. AVRE is in trouble. Surely going to go down. Forced to fall back. Bomber coming in as well. Actually not going to be used. Panzer IV finds the kill. Nicely done. Nicely done indeed. Now it's interesting how Nicholas Fricke decided to smoke that when he easily had the shot with his Panzer IV. Oh, those Spitfires taking a lot of damage from that anti-air. Oh, nice Piet. I like this. Can it hit the mark though? No, it cannot. Who am I kidding? Piets don't hit anything. Wow. Panzergrenadier, Panzer IV, just going to charge on through. Really like this response though. Churchill 7 is on its way. It's going to take its sweet time, but a good choice. Because HMG going to die on that top side. Rifle leader still alive, but only 1 Piet left. If it can find a kill with that Piet, that would be glorious, but I doubt that's going to be the case. In the mid here, MMG carrier. Going to be smashing these pioneers. I really like how Chickendew reloaded the Piet into the MMG carrier there to keep it covered from the fire from the pioneers. That's really, really well played. Come on, Stuart. That's going to start hammering that Marder III. Going to get out of line of sight just in time. And Grenadier blocks his line of sight anyway with its smoke. Questionable smoke play from Nicholas Fricke throughout this game. Spade troop there, going to go down though. Spitfire Mark 9 now on its way. We've got some bombs coming in on the top side on this Panzer IV. That's going to force that to fall back. This one might just get its bombs off. But they're going to be incredibly inaccurate. And, well, 2 Focke-Wulfs on its tail. It's going to mean that that doesn't last very long either. Spitfire Mark 9 coming in for the party. Got to be careful of the AA. I believe there is still another Spitfire in Chickendew's hand. Maybe he's waiting for this Focke-Wulf to get close enough. But forcing one of the Focke-Wulfs back does allow him now to focus on the other. Oh wow. This Panzer IV, can it kill the Churchill 7? The Churchill 7's very low on morale. So the Panzer IV has a chance to find that kill. 6-pounder has already been dealt with. Just got to find that line of sight before the Panzer 1C goes down. Across the board it is currently 50-50. Spitfire slowly but surely winning that engagement with the Focke-Wulf. And I think that Focke-Wulf's dead. The Churchill 7 is also dead in my opinion. That Panzer IV surely going to get the kill. It's a 2-star Panzer IV. Spitfire Mark 9 not going to find the kill onto the Focke-Wulf. Wow. Okay, Nicholas really needs to micro this properly. He needs to drive out a bit, stop, start firing again. He can't allow that Churchill 7 to recover. He'll probably still find the kill anyway, but this is just really annoying to watch. One thing that I did just notice is the Panzer Grenadier are on a follow command with the Panzer IV. That's nice. Very nice. Micro. Panzer IV-H going to be ripping to shreds more Vickers HMGs. That top side's still covered by the 6-pounder, so Chickendew doesn't have to worry too much. But, oh, just as I look away, Panzer IV finds a kill onto the Churchill 7. Might also find the kill onto the Churchill 6. Gets the track wheel destroyed. Is falling back. That is a dead Churchill 6, and well, Nicholas Fricke really doing the damage for sure. But 9 minutes and 50 seconds left on the game, and a +1 is not going to cut it for Nicholas Fricke at this point. So across the board, Chickendew has lost quite a lot of his expensive units, and his AT guns have all gone down as well. Nicholas Fricke's in a commanding position in this game. He's just got to find that +2 that will really solidify the victory. Panzer 1C quite simply just going to charge down this 17-pounder. Wow, if that 17-pounder is allowed to kill the Panzer IV, that's a huge mistake from Nicholas Fricke. Why would you not just stop and kill that? I don't know. Anyway, looks like he's coming back for another run. The 17-pounder, can it find the kill? No, it cannot. Going to be pinned down, taken care of, nice and easy. Rifles are revealing themselves there. On this top side, things are really falling apart, but the 6-pounder has been pinned down. Bombs coming in from the Spitfire Mark 9, going to try and stop some of this infantry from advancing, but not really being very successful. Panzer 1C just charging down this road right now. Has all the time in the world to kill off this 6-pounder. Really needs to focus that first. 6-pounder, going to get the weapon jam. It's more than enough. This Panzer IV, it's currently got internal fragments. You might be able to stop this from going too far. However, if this 6-pounder dies on this top side, things could easily turn to a +2. And that's now been pinned with the 251-9 coming in. That has 9 HE, more than enough to do the damage. Focke-Wulf 190 G3 coming in with the bombing strike. Takes it down to 1 health, keeps it pinned. +2 now in favour of Nicholas Fricke. At close range, 17 pounder going to wreck that Panzer IV. Panzer IV didn't have any ammunition anyway. But still not a kill you really want to take at this point, especially when you're finding such an advantage. But with that MMG carrier going down to this Panzer IV in the centre, there's only a couple of infantry squads between Nicholas Fricke and victory right now. 7 minutes left on the clock. Gonna need a +3 for a convincing victory. Command Stuart cleaning up these pioneers isn't going to help though. I think this is just a really, really crazy game here towards the end. Nicholas Fricke eventually overwhelming the defences of Chickendew. Going to be smashing these rifles. 17 pounder is still alive on this road though. Got to stop and be careful. There we go. Panzer IV. Will it have time to pin down the 17 pounder? It's got MGs on target. Nope. Not going to be able to this time. Panzer II looks are on the way. Looks like Nicholas Fricke had another card of those up his sleeve. And is going to be able to use them to take on this 17 pounder. Well, there goes one. But as soon as this looks opens up, I feel like that's pinned. Maybe? Oh no! The 17 pounder found 2 kills, one after the other. Internal fragment though onto this Churchill 6 on the top side. Panzer IV at range. Easily taking out those units. 17 pounder, it's got work to do. It missed. It's dead. It's so dead. 17 pounder's gone. Nicholas Fricke can continue his fast move into enemy territory. +3 in favour of Nicholas Fricke. Wow, this really fell away from Chickendew pretty fast, didn't it? Allowing his Churchill 7 to die easily on this bottom side was a huge mistake. Panzer 1 goes down. Can this honey take care of the Panzer II looks? It's going to have to before the Panzer IV gets in range. Otherwise it's in trouble. But this is very difficult for Chickendew now. A lot of his units, his expensive units, are very slow. So for example, this Churchill 7 is just slowly moving up this road. Like, even though it's fast moving, I mean, look how fast it goes. Not very fast at all. And that means that a comeback at this point is pretty damn difficult. Especially considering his opponent is so mobile with the Panzer II looks. But I really like the transition from Nicholas Fricke from the Panzer II looks into the Panzer IVs. And only now he's got into the open ground on the other side of the river is he bringing up a Tiger. And that's very good use and priority of certain units. So Panzer IV now engaging the Churchill. A Churchill could definitely win that engagement. And it looks like it might do. Stuart is going to be pushing back towards this Panzergrenführer. 6 pounder internal fragments the Panzer II looks. Go on, Command Stuart, do the job. Oh, never mind. Tiger comes in, pops the command, and well, that's pretty much it. MG carrier does go down there for free with with recon inside, which isn't good. Spitfire Mark 9. It's going to be trying to engage the Focke-Wulf, but limited ammunition left on that. 6 pounder gets bombed. On the top side, Churchill is surrounded. Not really sure if Chickendew can get away with that. He needs to... Well, he's done the correct thing there in that he took away the line of sight from this 251-9. But now he's just got to find the kill onto this Panzer II before the 259 recovers. But with this Panzer 1C also there, it looks like Chickendew doesn't want to see that go down and instead surrenders. So 37 minutes and 6 seconds it took Nicholas Fricke to defeat Chickendew in this lower bracket round 1 game, which means Chickendew is knocked out of the tournament, and Nicholas Fricke is going to be moving on to round 2 of the lower bracket. So commiserations to Chickendew. He held on well early on and was, holding a +1 for the majority of the game. But with that kind of breakthrough from Nicholas, it really just, sealed the deal at the end of the day. 3,055 kills to 3,995 losses for Chickendew. So things actually quite far in favour of Nicholas Fricke in the late game. With the losses of the AVREs and the Churchill Mark 7s, that's where things really get difficult. So Honey there going to get the kill onto the Panzer II Lux and the Panzer 1C. We got the AVRE killing both of those half tracks as Honey kills off the Panzer II Lux. Spitfire Mark 9, that managed to get loads of kills. 2 MU109G, 2 BR21s and a Focke-Wulf 190 really paid itself off. This one as well, look at that. 2 Focke-Wulf 190 G3s and a Focke-Wulf 190 A8. Very nice air kills from Chickendew. But he didn't kill off enough of the Panzer IVs in the late game. And those Panzer II Lux were just overwhelming. Like the fact that they traded so well in the early game, I think just gave Nicholas Fricke the leg up that he needed in order to win the game. So this one, for example, Befehl Panzer IIc killed off 6 units of rifle, or 5 units of rifles, 1 unit of rifle leader, and a Honey. Like that is paying itself off like 2, maybe even 3 times over, which is really nice. This Panzer II Lux maybe not so good. This one taking out 2 MG carriers is okay. This one taking out a Honey. Every time a Lux trades for a Honey, it's a good trade for a Panzer II Lux. Panzer IVs though, that's where the change really came in. You can see that by the kill list here. These Panzer IVs can really do a lot of damage at that sort of range, especially considering the AP is amplified at shorter ranges and the Panzer IVs already have 14 AP. So against the Scots, Panzer IVs work really, really well. And this isn't the first time that we've seen that demonstrated. So AVRE there goes down, 2 Honeys, MMG carrier, command carrier, MMG carrier, 2 rifles, 3 rifles even. Really nice kill list for the Panzer IV. Marder 3 ended up killing off 2 AT guns, which isn't something you see very often. Again, another Panzer IV though. 2 Churchill 6s, Churchill 7 kill. Again, another Panzer IV doing really well. And they really, really were the major pushing power that Nicholas Fricke bounced back from and with. So that's it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.